Hi, today we're doing Redbook 10.5 even. We are finding the slope and the y-intercept, and we're also using that information to graph as well. So let's get started. First, the instructions for numbers 6 through 10 says find the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of the linear function. So that's all we need to do is find the slope and the y-intercept. So when we understand that, first of all, we must determine that our function is in slope-intercept form. In other words, y is isolated and it is equal to a coefficient with x plus or minus b, okay? And therefore, we have the slope-intercept form. So let's make sure that we are in the slope-intercept form, and then we can make a determination on our slope and our y-intercept. Now, once it is in this formation, then we know that this is our slope and that this is our intercept, our y-intercept. And we find that it's just that simple. M is slope, B is y-intercept. So let's take a look. Let's start off with our intercept. For number 6, our y-intercept, this is in the play. If we put our slope formula over top of this, we realize that our intercept is 1. Okay, and our slope is 4. Okay, so let's see how we want to write this. We want to write this as, don't have much room, and this color is light. So our slope is 4, and our intercept is 1. Okay, and that's how that goes. Let's look at number 8. All right, once again, if we put our mx plus b, then we realize that this -3 is our intercept, and that 2/3 is our slope. Okay? Seems too simple, huh? Well, let's take a look here. This is not in slope-intercept form. We must put it in slope-intercept form in order to make this determination. So let's use our workspace over here. In order to put it in slope-intercept form, we must isolate our y. So here we're going to move the 9x. And we'll be left with -3y is equal to 24 minus 9x. Then we're going to isolate y by dividing everything by -3. And so that y is equal to, in this case, we're going to 24 divided by -3 is going to give us a -8. And then -9x divided by -3 is going to give us a positive 3x. So therefore we have y is equal to 3x minus 8. So therefore we can make our determination now that this is our intercept and this is our slope. Okay? And that's how that is done for numbers 6 through 10. Okay? So now let's take a look now at 12 and 14. 12, 14, 16, and 18. In 12, 14, 16, 18, it says graph the linear function using the slope-intercept form. All right, so now we make a determination need more colors. We decide that, first of all, we need this information to graph. All right, we need the same information we had before. We need to know that intercept and we need to know that slope, okay? In this case, the intercept is -3 and the slope is 3/1, okay? So now, what happens here is on our graph, okay, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then we're labeling our graph here. So, sorry, I should have done this prior. Hope I don't run out of time. Okay, so now, and then this is our origin. Okay, so now, here we go. For number 12, our intercept is -3. So we go to our y line and we find -3, and we put a dot there, okay? Because the line must go through there, must cross this y-axis, okay? And so then we find out that we have a slope, a positive slope of 3/1, okay? So we're going to rise 3 and run 1, and we're going in a positive, okay, and a positive progression. So here we go. If we rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to run 1, then we put a dot here. We rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and we run 1. Okay? All right? So now we want to extend this line on across. So we're going to fall and go to the left, a double negative. Falling is negative and going to the left is negative. So a double negative will make it positive. So here we go. We're going to fall 3, 1, 2, 3, and run. So now we have some dots to connect. So let's do this. I must have borrowed my ruler. All right, and so therefore this is the line y is equal to 3x minus 3. That's how it goes. Okay, let's move forward. I'm going to use red this time, and we're going to go with number 14. We're going to identify that the y-intercept is 4, positive 4, and that the slope here, if there's no coefficient there, it's understood to be 1. In this case, negative. So it's a -1/1. That's our slope, okay? So now we go to our graph. First, we find our y-intercept, which is a positive 4. And so on the y-line, positive 4 is here. Okay, that's where our line intersects y. And so then our slope is -1/1. So that means we're going to have a negative progression. Our line should be leaning to the left. Okay, so it's 1, 1. We're going to rise 1, okay, which is a positive move, but to make it negative, we're going to go to the left 1. Rise 1, 1. Rise 1, run. Rise 1, run. Now, we have to fall, which is a negative move, and then move to the right to keep it a negative move. Fall 1, run. Fall 1, run. Okay? So now let's make this connection. Okay? Once we have made that connection, then this is number 14. Okay? All right. Let's move forward. Next, we're going to use black for number 16. Okay? Our slope is -1/5. And our intercept is a positive 2. Okay? So now, let's go to our line. We find our intercept first, which is 2, positive 2, which is here. All right, and then we show our slope. Our slope is rise 1, run 5, and it's negative, so it's going to have a negative progression. Okay, so let's go. Starting here at our 2, we're going to rise 1, but that's a positive move. To make it negative, we're going to go to the left. Make it run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rise 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Okay, it's very slanty there. All right, so now to extend it on across our intercept, we're going to fall 1, okay, which is a negative move, and then we're going to move to the right 5. Fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to connect the dots. Okay, and that's going to be number 16. All right, and then lastly, number 18. Okay, we're going to have an intercept of +1 and a slope of -4 over 1. Remember, when it's a whole number, we must put it over 1 so that we can have a run. Got to have a rise and a run. So let's take a look. We're going to start at +1. All right, and so then we have -4, 1. All right, so it's going to be a negative progression. So here we go. We're going to rise 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to run 1. Rise. We're going to go back here to here, okay? And we're going to fall 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is negative, and we're going to move to here 1, which makes it still a negative move. And then we're going to connect those dots, okay? And we're going to do that like this. Okay? Now, same thing with number 20. We have a -2 for our intercept and a -3 for our slope. So it would be a -3 over 1 for our slope and -2 for our intercept. So we're going to start here at -2. And then our slope is negative. It's going to go here to the left. And so we're going to rise 3. 1, 2, 3, run 1. And we're going to fall 3. 1, 2, 3, run 1. And then we're going to connect our dots. That's number 20, okay? Now, on number 22, it's not in y-intercept form. We need to put it in y-intercept form in order to make an informed decision as to our slope and our intercept. So here we need to take a moment, and we're going to move our 5x to the other side. So we have 3y is equal to -5x, okay, +2 because it's positive. Now we're going to each side by 3, and y is going to be equal to -5/3 x +2/3, okay? All right, 2/3, all right, and so therefore that is our number 22. Now, when you say 2/3, you say 2/3. That's one of those numbers that you don't kind of want to be fooling with. So what you need to do is take the moment to convert this to a decimal form, okay? And if you convert it to a decimal form, then you can work with it, okay? And that's how we would, 2/3 would be approximately 0.66, a little over like a half, okay? And then you have -5/3. What you could do is create a graph that is in thirds, okay? And go from there, all right? But let's take a look. Let's go ahead and graph it. Our slope is 2/3, so that's less than 1/2. It is positive. It's a little over half. It's approximately right about here. And then our slope is 5/3, -5 over. We're going to run 5 and rise 5 and run 3, and we'll have a negative progression. So let's go. It's going to be kind of challenging, but let's try it. Just under the line is where we're going to be marking, just over the half mark. So that's 1, 2, 3,